Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club. And as you can see, the cloud has lifted and it's a beautiful summer's day here in Sydney. Down here at Circular Quay at my usual haunt. I'm on the International Passenger Terminal, and what I'll do is I'll just go on a bit of a walk and talk, and we'll do a brief little chat, a 5 a.m. Club, on a book summary that I've read last night, and we'll see where it takes us. So there's a little bit of a breeze. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing, so what I'll do is I'll just head up in the little sheltered area about 100 metres away. But we'll kick off our book summary and just watch the Queenscliff come into the dock. For those who are not aware, the four big ferries, the four big Manly ferries, are destined to a different future next year, and the Queenscliff, the Freshwater, the Narrabeen will be retired and sunk somewhere off the shore, off the coast here at New South Wales, and used as dive sites. And the Collaroy is scheduled to remain, but only to do weekend work. And these magnificent, large, glorious ferries that have been part of the Sydney harbour character for so many years will no longer operate to and fro on a daily basis. So what we're seeing now is one of the rare views that'll be seen in 2021. And the ferries will be replaced by smaller ferries like the one just coming in now. So there'll be smaller ferries doing more frequent trips, as opposed to the larger ferry doing fewer trips. Anyway, let's move on and kick off our book summary. And today's book summary is entitled First Break All the Rules, and it's written by a fellow called, believe it or not, I don't have his name. Anyway, I think it's Ryan Holiday, but I'll correct it in the message or in the title. But the book is entitled First Break All the Rules, and it's a leadership book, which talks about management, leadership, and basically organisational behaviour. So for those who have worked and who have been part of a corporate culture, you will understand what I'm about to talk about, because over the years you get to work for some great leaders, for some great managers, and you also get to work with people who are probably not suited to their role of manager or leader, and they're probably better off being a task master, people who just do the work, as opposed to people who coordinate, inspire, motivate, reward, and care for in terms of their role as a manager. I was really pleased to see in the paper this morning that Paul O'Sullivan, who was affectionately known as Poz when I used to work at Optus, he was a mobile business manager at one point when we were at Optus, and now he's the chairman of the ANZ Bank. But I look back and I say to myself, he was a great leader, an outstanding communicator, a great motivator, very clear, concise and powerful in his oratory skills and his leadership capability. But he wasn't in any way charismatic, loud, funny. He was always very serious, and you could probably say that he was very introverted. Whilst I don't know him on a social scene, he always came across as very introverted, very capable, of course, very intelligent, but most of all, he was very clear in his communication, and he would get people committed to doing certain things, and he would make sure that once you committed to doing something, then you delivered on your commitment, else he would make you feel most uncomfortable. So you'd never promise something to pause and not deliver, and not even come up with an excuse as to why you didn't deliver. You just knew that you just had to drop everything, do everything to make it happen. And that's why he was an outstanding leader in my book. But this book here, First Break All the Rules, talks about the fact that great people want to work for great people. They want to work for an environment that will allow them to grow, develop, and express themselves. And the key to attracting, keeping, growing, and developing great skills is to have management, people in positions who are able to foster that sort of environment. So the book entitled First Break All the Rules talks about the importance of the immediate manager and the impact they have on morale, they have on the individuals in the team, and how they can foster the right sort of environment to become super productive and to create high-performing teams which engage with the rest of the organisation to create a high-performing organisation. So First Break All the Rules talks about being different and not just doing things the way they used to be done, but to be situational in your management style and do what's right for the team, what's right for the organisation, and what's right at that point in time without getting caught up in the bullshit corporate politics that seem to take over an organisation and bring it to its knees. So in terms of the key learnings from this book, the author talks about the importance of selecting people based on talent. And when they talk about talent, they talk about experience, intelligence, and determination. It's not about technical skills. It's not about all those other things, because the author says that you can teach knowledge and skills, but you can't teach drive, passion, and talent. Talent is the sort of thing that gets you doing the things you love doing because it comes naturally to you. So you can't put a square peg in a round hole, as they say in the classics. So you need to make sure that the people that you have on your team are the people who have the right character, who have the right temperament, who have the ability to work with people and through people. And once you get that together, then if you've got the right energies, the right vibes in your team, then the rest of it can be taught. Now, you can teach people knowledge, you can teach people skills, you can teach people lots of things, but what you can't teach people is passion. You know, you can't take a stiff person and make them passionate. You know, you can't get somebody who's what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even find the word. Somebody who's not interested, who's listless, who's lazy, and teach them drive. You know, and talent. You know, either you got it or you don't have it. So you need to try and identify those sorts of skills or those sorts of attributes in people. And once you identify them, then you can bring them together, you can corral them, and then you can drive results through those people, because one good person can be more productive than 10 average people. And we've seen that in the past. We've seen that in many organisations. You have one good leader or one good team person, and they can lift the team, they can be much more productive than everybody else. And when they go missing, you can sense that there's a huge gap in your team, a huge gap in your organisation. Not saying that people are irreplaceable, but what I'm saying is that it's important to understand that if you get the right people together, you can get a tremendous synergy happening and an awesome productivity, generating massive, unbelievable results. Because if you've got too many people in your organisation, if you're relying on too many people to do things, what actually happens is your organisation gets constipated. People get in each other's way. And if people don't clearly know what they're doing, why they're doing it, then instead of helping each other, instead of being productive, they're actually taking away from the productivity of the organisation and the team. So it's something really, really important to understand. But in order to get the best out of a team, you need a great leader. A great leader who has really, really clear, concise, empowering, positive communication, who's able to define the outcomes. And it's important to understand that they need to define the outcomes and not the steps. A great leader will not tell people how to do things. They'll leave the people, the staff, the talented individuals to come up with how they get things done. But the leader just needs to clarify what exactly and unambiguously are you trying to achieve, when do you need it by, and to make sure that the proper resources are available to the team to be able to make it happen, and then just let the magic manifest itself. So it's not easy, but it's not hard. The important thing is that the leader needs to understand that they are the leader, and they need to have the authority and the power and the support of their team in order to get things done. So the leader, a great leader, needs to be able to enlist responsibility and accountability from his team or her team, their team, and to know that once they set the direction, once the compass is calibrated and the steps are identified, or the objectives are identified, then it's up to the team to make it happen. The other points that the book makes, and I'm coming to the end of this vlog, I'll keep it within a manageable time frame, is that we all need to focus on people's strengths and to manage their weaknesses. So as a great leader, you need to spend time knowing your people, the people around you, knowing what their strengths are, knowing what their weaknesses are, chatting with them, knowing what it is that makes them tick, and then calibrating the opportunities to match their capabilities, but to also enable them to bend and stretch, to grow and develop, so that it becomes interesting and exciting for them, rather than something which is boring and unexciting, I guess is another way of describing it. Now, we've all been in organisations where we've worked and done the same job for 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden you realise that you're no longer the flavour of the month and your job is made redundant. So the big and important message for all the young people out there is you need to continue to grow and develop. You need to become a manager of people, a leader of people, and not a task monkey. Because if you're really good at doing tasks, guess what? You're going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. You're going to be replaced by somebody who's younger and cheaper. And you're going to struggle to keep your place in the corporate sphere. And I talk from experience there, so I don't make it a secret. But sooner or later, we all get to an age where we're no longer sexy enough, or pretty enough, or handsome enough to be able to continue in the corporate scene. And you've got to understand, once you get to 50 or higher or older, then your chances of keeping your role in a corporate organisation are virtually zero. Because every time redundancies come around, the first ones who get kicked out the door are the ones who are in that 50 to 60, 50 year range, and it's something that you need to understand and appreciate, because it's not going to change. It's only going to get tougher, and the struggle is going to be more intense as the years go on. Anyway, there we go. We've got Captain Cook cruisers coming past. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is that great leaders, great managers welcome feedback, but are also very good at holding up the mirror and providing feedback. Performance reviews with their staff, performance reviews that are honest, performance reviews that are empowering, are actionable, so that you always know where you stand. You shouldn't turn up to a performance review and get surprised. Your manager, your leader, your organisation should be an honest and open communication environment where you know if you're on track or off track, and you don't wait to the end of the year to get ambushed. So, so that's about it, I think. So a wonderful book, and something that we can all use and pick something out of there that can help us with our growth and development. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and most importantly, make sure that you're building your talents, your knowledge, your skills, so that you can become an awesome corporate contributor, if that's something that you want. And to know that as you get older, it's going to be harder and harder to stay corporate, unless of course you're a leader of people and you're getting results through people. So when I was at IBM, the key message was that you need to be a manager of people by the time you're 30. And in general terms, IBM always used to teach us that if you haven't achieved it, your key goals, your key milestones in your life, by the time you're 30, if you're not up on one of those higher steps, if you haven't stepped up and are on those higher steps there in your life, then basically you're not going to get there ever at all. So the call to action to all those people under 30 is make sure you work as hard as you can to get as many milestones ticked off in your life as you can. Get married, start your family, get well advanced within your career by building your work capital, your network and your capabilities, because life gets tougher and it gets harder as you go. So you need to be ahead of the wave. So when the sets start pounding in, you can get up on your board and surf them and make the most of each and every wave and the most of each and every opportunity. So thank you once again, and I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow, 5 a.m. from another location with another message, a message hopefully of empowerment, something that you can use, something that you can pass on, something that you can think about, so that we have shared experiences and we all grow and benefit at the same time. Because I've got to tell you, I am growing and benefiting by doing these 5 a.m. clubs. I absolutely love it. And it's something that I'm thrilled to do every day. I do about 5 of them every day. And it's something that, that really, really gets me excited and keeps me going. So thank you very much. Sasagapao. Vilakya. And I look forward to chatting with you again tomorrow. Yasas and bye for now.